Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the Mezco 112 Collective, Solomon Kane, who I have dubbed the Angry Puritan Conan. It's just funny to say that, mostly because Howard E. Rice wrote about both Solomon Kane, Kull the Conqueror, and Conan. So he wrote about all of these characters, so it's cool to see them get action figures nowadays. If you want some Solomon Kane comics, some that I could recommend are the Dark Horse stuff, and then there's also the Marvel version of Solomon Kane, which his most recent appearance is probably going to be Serpent War, where it's him, Conan, I forgot this girl's name. It's him, Conan, Moon Knight, and there's another woman who is another property of Marvel, and I'm gonna forget it, but I'm gonna try to remember before the end of this video. But yeah, here we are jumping into it. Here we are, and honestly, he looks fantastic. This is one of those figures where I didn't know what I was gonna get, but I'm happy with what I got. And they have captured like the gaunty, tall, like he's supposed to look slender, and he does underneath the jacket, which we'll get to that. But his jacket and his look has been kind of modernized for the Mezco style, and I feel like it really works because even when you push his arms together, you can see that he has a slender frame. It's really nice. Same thing with the legs. He has that nice slender frame. One of the things I also want to talk about is that Mezco like went out of their way to really improve on their ankle pivot with this guy, which I'm going to get into in a second. But yes, totally happy. Now, his hair setup is a little different, as we pop our head off, and swapping heads with him is also a matter of swapping hair. So let me actually get this out of there. So you will have the option of swapping hair and faceplates with him. Oop. Let me get some focus on that. Hold on. There we go. I don't know why I didn't focus even with my hands there. But as we can see here, we have this beautiful faceplate. And we have our hair here. And we will get to the combination parts of that. But I want to see that, I want you guys to see that sometimes because of the jacket coat, it'll sit a little high, like moving forward. You can push it back to adjust accordingly. Now, when you pop this on, as you can see, the jacket furls will get in the way of our collar. If you want, my suggestion is you move it outward, and you can have it sit how you want when your jacket sits open. It doesn't hinder any of the articulation. As you can see here, we can still lift our arms up. If you feel like your arms are tight, just, take your jacket off, move it around. You will get the full mobility still. I like that he does still have bicep swivel and completely double jointed. With our jacket on, it won't seem like he's double jointed, but he definitely is. One of the cool concepts is to take his jacket off. They actually gave you ability to pop these off. So let's talk about that. We can just pop these off, and we can just remove our jacket, right? And then we can talk about our jacket off and on, which you see here. Our jacket is actually wired all the way through. We have a nice, beautiful flowing look. It's actually wired in the back as well. So that means articulation, flowing articulation for your jacket is really nice. I also like this look here on the back. Utterly beautiful. Right? As you can see here, we have our cloth shirt underneath. This is stitched up and can come off, as well as this belt. I haven't removed the red sash yet, but you can remove your belt. As you can see here. Well, you will be able to see. There we go. As you can see here, you can remove your belt. I'm going to tab that back in because I'm terrible with tabs. And as we can see, we can pop our gauntlets back on. So we have little to no issue getting around the whole jacket thing, especially because I know some of you guys love to kit bash and create new things like myself. And as you can see, our double joints really show off here. As far as our upper torso movement, we have a decent forward ab crunch. We can still tilt side to side as well. As far as lifting our leg up, we can hit the 90-degree mark with little to no issue. We still do have thigh swivel. We have a double joint. And like I mentioned before, went out of their way to try to solve their ankle pivot problem, as they cut it this way for the character to have a little bit more movement. So let's see how he kind of stacks up and get in some poses. Let's say he was being a sword fighter for his time. Yeah. Looks like we have a much better round of ankle pivot here on this guy. This is not wired, just sits there beautifully. But I would love that this was wired, but it looks a little too thin to do that. But as you can see here, articulation on this guy has a lot of room and movement. So yeah, you will be in a good place with kind of getting this guy to maneuver a certain way. And I like the idea of this, right? Now, for those of you wondering about accessories, we're going to get ready to jump into that. I'm going to keep the jacket off because I actually like this look a lot. Again, this guy is like really, really nice even without the jacket on. Like, I really like the look of this. So, with that being said, we're going to jump into accessories, get to talking about it. And yeah, again, sorry about this. I don't know what's going on. Every time I change a lens, it's almost like it resets, and I'm not sure about why it's doing that. But I'm doing my best to counteract it as it happens. I'll see you guys in a sec. All right, let's get into accessories. I'll put a coat here to the side. Now, we have a lot to go through, so bear with me as we take some time. May even take it up in 2 parts so I can have a little bit of water in between. I have a little bit of a migraine. So, first thing I want to talk about is our head sculpts and the magic of that. Now, with our grim, long, gaudy face, we will also have a grit teeth sculpt. Looks really, really good. When we pop some hair on that, I'll show you how cool that looks. Then we have our absolute screaming head. I don't know why I called it absolute, but it's a unit. So yeah, here we are with our screaming sculpt. Now, what's cool about these two is now we're going to show them off with our sculpt. Well, we'll show off the head sculpts first, then we'll show them off in combination with each other. Here you'll get his Puritan hat, right? It's sculpted on top, right? And don't have to worry about taking it off because they do offer you, obviously, the unhat one. Unhat, wow. Then you'll get a whooshing hair version with your hat. And if you're worried about you don't want the hat on, but you want whooshing hair, you will also get that as well. Now, like I said, let's try it out with some of the sculpts. I'm going to pop this bad boy in. Then here you have, yeah, like I said, these look really, really good. And it's popped all the way in. And then you'll have other things. Let's try one out. Let's do our whooshing hair with the grit teeth. And as you can see, utterly beautiful. The long gouty face, the little bit of brim here to cover it over. You can just actually bend that back down. Looks utterly fantastic and gives off that nice silhouette. So I enjoy stuff like that. But if you want a little bit of light in there so I can show it off to you, there you have it. But yeah. Now we're going to talk about our handsets. With our closed fist here, we have the asymmetrical design of each gauntlet. You will get a regular holding hand and a pointing hand, right? You will get your open action hands to look really good. Whoop, I lost focus for a second. We're going to get our open action hands to look really, really good. They are asymmetrical and different, whereas one is a more clawed hand, as one is more furling down each finger. I guess that'd be the word, right? You will get one of these trigger fingers. So that means you can dual weld your weapons. I'll talk about that in a second. And then you will get your item holding hands right out the gate. Again, asymmetrical design, but the hands do the same job. Next up, you will get a set of boot knives. You'll get 2 boot knives. And the boot knives are really cool. So let's get the big boy in focus. Here we have our boot, and I forgot to cover this, but you do get a little bit of boot swivel. Not a whole lot, but something to add that extra oomph to it. It's really hard to see at first, but there is an opening here at the sheath. We're going to be able to place our boot knife inside. In case you missed this in my review, please make sure you read the instructions. It's there. Right? There we have our boot knife. Same can be done on the other side, so you have symmetrical boot knives to cover you. My boy Kane strapped, dog. He stay ready. Like, he really does stay ready. Next up, you will get a beautiful torch. Now, the torch is really cool because the torch comes with 2 effects. And you can use it as, like, a weapon, right? You don't have to necessarily. Because you can stave off things that are scared of fire. You will get the standing straight up version of the flame. And again, when light passes through this, it looks utterly beautiful. Let's take this apart, and then you will get the moving flame version. moving flame is what I should say. Fun fact, fire does not cast a shadow. That's pretty cool. Right? Let's move this. Then you will get the Kane of Solomon, which I think it's very on the nose. The immortal Kane of Solomon. I like the way this is really painted and looks really cool. I like the little, it looks like a cat head at the top, so I really like that. Let's get some, there we go. Looks like a cat head. Next up, you'll get two types of swords, which I believe these are rapiers. So you will get a gold and a silver one. I believe this is our main rapier with a beautiful hilt to it, as well as our gold standard rapier with hilt. This one is more of a broad hilt, and this is a skinnier version. Both will come with sheaths, as you'll see here, that you can wrap up. Let's sheath both of these bad boys up, and I'm doing this for a particular reason, right? Next up, you will get two types of revolvers. You'll get, well, not a revolver, I'm sorry, a flintlock pistol. I said revolver, my apologies. It's a flintlock pistol. I'm not sure if you can move this back. No, you can't. Just wanted to make sure with our flintlock pistol. Then you'll get a double barrel flintlock pistol. One will have the effect for one part to shoot. And then you will get the double barreled one effect. To shoot those double pellets. You know, die on sight, baby. Next up, you will get a beautiful bandolier. And this is what's really cool about the bandolier, is that there are openings with tabs. Now, depending on how you want to design your rapiers to do it, you can actually do right here on our backhand side, the bandolier to cover up your weapon. I want to tab it in, but I want to show you other stuff first. So hang on to this 1 second. One thing I forgot to show off is the two sets of knives. You will get a one larger knife, as well as a curved knife. Right? Both of them do have sheaths as well. So I'm going to sheath these up because there are tabs on the back of most, if not each of his weapons. Actually, I formed this the wrong way. There we go. And you actually have a beautiful curved sheath here. Let's actually form that in. And back to our bandolier. So, let's say you want to do something cool, as you see the two tab. Well, see the tabs here. Let's say you wanted to line up one of your knives. You can tab it along the way, and I suggest you gently push in. It's strong, but if you push it in not at the same time, it can cause some issues for you, like breakage, and I don't want that for you. So as you can see, we can tab that on, and then we can tab on our flintlock pistol, the holster for that, which I forgot to show. My bad, y'all. So here's the tab for that. We can actually press this. Let's do right here. We can tab that on. And I do believe you can do multiple tabbings of different things. I want to make sure I line these guys up right. Oh wait, gotta tab it up this way. So we're gonna tab along this way. So we have the opening for our flintlock. All right. And now I'm gonna break this up real quick to make sure we get a second. Y'all have to excuse me, I needed a quick water break. But more importantly, actually, I believe I put this upside down. So nope, I actually had it the right way. So let's say we tab this in. As I continue to sit around and fool around with it some more, I've actually never put the pistol holder on because I was too busy messing with all the swords of our angry Puritan Conan, right? So let's try one of the flintlocks. And yep, as you can see, we've got it tabbed in. I'm sorry I lost focus there because I may be a little too close. But as you can see, we have some organization here. So let's say we didn't want this design, or we designed it that way. We can actually go with a bunch of different designs and tab it up. Right? And then we'll use one of our rapiers here, choosing a different design. Make sure it's tabbed in. As you can see, I'm pushing ever so gently so that everything kind of tabs along. Right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this off. And I'm just going to see how this design looks with our bandolier on. And I probably could have put it on a lot easier, but you know me. I choose the hard way for no apparent reason. But as you can see here, because I've chosen this design, you can see how it lines up with our character and the body shape. It fits a little wide, but I'm okay with that because you need a little bit of space for the jacket. But as you can see here, my design doesn't work with the flintlock pistol being back there. But you do have a ton of different customizing options on the front and the back for your figure. Even so much as to, let's say you didn't want the top tab in, you want to lean it a little bit more forward. Let's untab the top, right? And then we rotate just a little bit. Slowly gonna untab this. There we go. But let's say you wanted to tab across, you have a bunch of options, so you can imagine it like that. Either way, I'm actually pretty happy with the customizing options. That means no one's will be exactly the same. So even if you took from mine, because by the time I get to the photos, I will have figured out the kind of design that I want. We can do this. By the way, this is Velcroed, so I'm pretty sure you can take that apart and customize it further to your type of design. But overall, I'm super duper happy with this. But more importantly, I'm happy with the flexible boot design, our look, our angry Puritan Conan. Let me fix my bandolier, right? And if you know me, you know I loved Conan. So I'm going to love taking photos of this guy versus demons, versus vampires, angry villagers, people, you know. So depending on your stories and your version of Solomon Kane, you can actually get a bunch of cool type of designs about this. Even have him team up with Hellboy, because that actually happened once. So again, you can have a ton of fun. With that being said though, now I'm going to go find my Hellboy so I can use that guy in size comparison. And now I'm going to get to it. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so real quick, one of the few things I forgot is that on our side of our belt, we actually have more holsters here on the side. As you can see there. So if you want to place more like your swords or anything like that, or even your flintlock, you can have that for that reverse grip. Also, our gauntlets are still fully movable. So I'm going to stand this guy straight up as much as possible so he won't have no shoulder lean or anything like that. Right? As he stands there in the middle, I'm going to remove his jacket, his really cool jacket. And now we'll talk about the size comparison. So the first thing I want to do is compare him to regular Conan with Angry Puritan Conan. I feel like that is a very accurate assessment for these two. And as you can see, Conan is a little smaller. It works out. I believe Conan should probably be bigger, but history teaches us a lot about men being smaller back then, so it's still crazy. But you know, it depends on what you want, because official listings are going to change. Here we are with Death Dealer. So as you can see, we have some of the really cool stuff. Like, this is really nice. So I'm going to remove these guys ever so quickly, right? As we jump into some other stuff, one of the other cool things I want to do is, because there's a little bit of sorcery involved, here's Atticus Doom, the Necroverse version, next to him, looking pretty solid. Then we are going to do a Mythic Legion, in case you wanted to get straight up Puritan style. Right. So there you have that with a Mythic Legion. So that means he's not much smaller than a Legion, and he's supposed to be like this really thin man, fueled by anger and belief. And I feel like we definitely we got it there, right? Let's take these guys away. One of the things I want to do is compare it to a larger scale figure, like a larger Mythic Legion. So here's Archimedes. You know, so in case he wants to fell a demon every now and then, because I don't have Belphegor here, but you know how that he's a standard size. Then, if we're going to do other larger stuff, like in that criteria, in case you wanted a werewolf or a predator, here is Veteran William and a NECA predator, in case you want to see how these guys look. Next up, we have Valaverse Rollout and Spiro Toys Blight. Right? Again, really nice sizes. Fits right in between everything, and I think that's always like a plus. Here we are with a Marvel Legends Black Panther and a G.I. Joe Classified Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Right? Snake Eyes is a little dude, man. At least the Ninja Commando one, like that's always like pretty small. Next up, we're going to do a SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider. So here is Shin Kamen Rider 1 next to a Mezco. As you can see, SHF is ridiculously small compared to Mezco's. And if we're going to do anything else, I guess I'll throw in this Mafex Spider-Man, so we can see how cool he looks. And as well as Mafex Spider-Man, I think I'll throw in a Lightning Collection, so we can see. Here is a Lightning Collection Black Ranger. Overall, what we're getting here is a bundle of joy, a nice set of combinations, and honestly speaking, like, because it's in the realm of sword and sorcery, I'm a lot of bias. I love sword and sorcery. So I'm absolutely going to adore this figure. But if this is not the thing for you, if you didn't pre-order it, or your friends didn't get it, it's going to be one of those things where it's not for you, especially if you don't know the history of the character. But I feel like because people don't know the character, you can actually have a lot more fun, and you don't have to worry about the history of something this guy's been around since like 1923. You know what I mean? A lot of people are just not going to know it. That's like asking people about Doc Savage, you know? But again, it's whether or not you really want it. So I hope that you enjoy the information brought to you by this video. I hope you found something cool to like learn from it. Maybe you'll check out some comics, right? But most of all, please, be good, do good. Drink your water, guys. Later. Hey guys, real add-on to what we're going to do with Solomon Kane. I added the 2 Hellboys, so we have 1,000 Toys Hellboy. We have Mezco Hellboy. And as you can see, height-wise, they look fantastic with Solomon Kane. I'm going to take these 2 guys away, and I'm going to compare, because I mentioned him before, we're going to compare to a Mezco Moon Knight. So we can think about the Serpent War book that I mentioned earlier in my review. Then I'm going to take him away, so we can talk about 2 Meatless Men. Here we have the Boss Fight Studio skeleton, as well as the Kulu World 112 skeleton. So now you can see, when you have your Meatless Men to go up against Solomon Kane, you'll wrap up. Consider this added bonus to the end of the video. I didn't think about it until after, and I've changed my setup as you see in the background. But as always, guys, be good, do good, drink water. Later. Super duper ending added bonus. Just want to know, I don't want to know, but I want to tell you that on the single barrel flintlock, you can actually do the reloading method. As you can see, I have it turned down here. Oh, and then he fell. But, yeah, I just wanted to let you know and cover that. Added in at the end as I may have missed that, obviously, in the video. So, yeah.